us visit it. There is one thing we can break. Some people start sleeping on me. You will not start answering. And it's not very nice. Because my Nigeria doesn't swear. Now, so nobody convenience rules. Okay, so we are going to be moving on to one of the student sections. And that session is going to capture, like I said earlier on, we did not come here today to only to be talking. We came here today so that we can also get your opinion, we can also get your perspective, we can share your collective opinion, as well as also get recommendations that are going to help the electoral process and governance in general. And so, because of that, we're going to have our next session. That session is going to talk about stakeholders who are captured here within this room, and they'll be telling us about their role as well as also the reforms that they expect to see that is going to help transform our electoral space. And so with me here, I feel them, I'm going to be calling them in no particular order. I'm going to be calling on the first person here on my list is the IPAC acting chairman for Kaduna State, and he's going to be talking from the perspective of political parties as captured here in Kaduna State, and he's no other person but Apostle John Yayo Solomon. Let's welcome for him as he takes the statement. Is he here with us? Okay, so while we are waiting for you to join us on stage here, I'll call on the next person to join us for the panel session. And he is from the Reset Nigeria, and his name is Mr. Lawrence. Okay, let's start with him as he comes up on stage to join us here for the panel session. And also, joining us here is the PDP chieftain in Kaduna State, representing the PDP, and it also means that he focused more on conversation that involves the PDP, and then also a little bit of political party nomenclature as captured here in Kaduna State. And he is Honorable Odia Ayuba. Let's start from him. Sorry. It's always a pleasure to have a woman in leadership. I'm so glad to have her join us here for this panel session. Okay. Also joining me here for this panel session is someone for the campaign for democracy. And this person is a comrade. And so, joining us on here for this panel session is comrade Abdul Bako. So let's understand that this particular people who are on stage here is not exhaustive. We have people who are seated here who represent religious bodies. We have people here who represent persons living with disability. It means that while they are speaking, you can also bring your points to the fore. We cannot have a long stage here, but it means that your thoughts and your opinions are also very, very valid. And so please, as they speak, let's listen, let's contribute where necessary, and also let's ensure that we pay attention to the points they are bringing out. Thank you very much. Let's clap for them as they. Okay, so I'm starting from the comrade Abdul is for the campaign for democracy. And first of all, I'd like to hear what his observations are from the last 2023 general elections and the challenges that he has found out during the course of the shift between that, and then after we can then go on to the next person. So, what are his observations from the 2023 election and then also the challenges that he faced as a stakeholder in that election?
Good morning, all. It's a pleasure to be with you on this very platform. I must have to thank Parent Advocacy for putting this together. For me, I think the most challenging aspect we had, and, the good, the bad, the ugly we had during the last elections, things that I'm going to say here briefly. The good aspects was we had that election. We never truncated our democracy. Was one of the good things we had during the last election. Going further, challenges we had, for me, I think at that point in time we're not ready for the elections, but we had it. But the fact that if you go down memory lane, you realize that I think at a point in time we're not really formed. The affirmation they had lapses in leadership, there were lacuna in the leadership. Vacant positions that were currently put together position came on board. So for me, I think that was a challenge that led to some of our failure as regards to the three elections. Furthermore, you will agree with me that there were people who were even political carrying members that were appointed as training commissioners and various places. That led to a lot of challenges. I don't want to go into the depths of what most of those challenges cause, but you realize that finally, even God that were not supposed to be the final arbitral entity for who becomes our leaders, were the people who were taking that responsibility of bringing up technicalities in our elections and giving out elections to people who were not being elected by the majority of the people. So I think those technicalities were issues I felt were a challenge on INEC itself conducting that 2020 election.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that contribution. So it's means that it's not the work that was going to do as citizens to also ensure that we remove the power of judiciary and bring the power of and so I'll be going next to my next panelist is from Reset Nigeria. And so his contributions are going to be focused on the challenges that he faced, that they face based on their organization and attention on them. How, because first of all, let's say challenges first of all. Good everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to the movement and as you say, as you know, election is a routine for most of the elected positions every 2 years. And over the years, we have worked and delegates to the electoral committee to make sure that we follow the elections. And my first involvement in election was in 2016. And following the justice. And for the 2023 election, again, we're going to see there are positives and also there are negatives. And the major positive is the fact that a few civil societies stood up to the task because it becomes very challenging when, because of paucity of funds, we see a lot of governments to engage in electoral
activities, especially when I started. There were a group of friends, a group of organizations came together. I think especially in Kaduna, I don't think there was any single candidate in the 2023 general election that we could not engage on the agenda. And we made sure we brought everybody, including the sitting government, all the members of the legislative. We were running both town hall meetings and radio programs. So I think we touched almost everybody. Whether those made difference will be left to the jury. Then, in the course of the election, we also discovered that against very high expectations of the electoral management body, on the day it was supposed to count, a lot of people felt maligned, a lot of people felt disenfranchised, a lot of people felt that their rights were taken away. And for us, for as a civil society, it doubles or multiplies your work because it kills the confidence in the electoral system. So you have to work even harder to bring people's interest back on the fore. And I think it's one of the things that maybe we should look at how to do because the willingness of people to participate in election depends on their confidence on the outcome of their activities. And when people begin to feel that the outcomes don't tally with their expectations, it doubles your work as a civil society because we're never going to stop. It's a work you have sworn to do, so you are even going to do it. So my biggest regret in the election is that I think I was speaking off with you. I don't think there has been serious postmortem on the 2023 general election. To really notify, I know that as civil society, we are mere monitors, we are mere observers, we are not supposed to contribute. But I think that we are supposed to aggregate some of the outcomes of the election observation and use them to push for reforms. In situations where we have not really sat down to diagnose what happened in that general election, it becomes even difficult for us to be able to aggregate some of the things we think should now enter the next reform. It's a big regret for me. Secondly, I think that it's always good when we come together like this. But I think that timing is also very important. I know that the constitutional amendment process is at an advanced stage with public hearings going around the country, whereas the electoral reform process is not at that advanced stage. And if you look at two of them, the constitution is superior to the electoral act. So most of the changes you expect to see in the electoral act must have constitutional backing. Now, we know there have been instances where the constitution has been amended more than once, even in a calendar year. So, but I don't think we can see that coming. So, I would also urge, not just you, but all civil societies working, that we begin to push these reforms way before close to the election so that we'll be able to get. I know what we went through getting the president to sign the last amendment act because he felt it was too close. So, but I think that as the conversation goes on, we'll continue to unpack some of the things that we feel the observation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Um, Going on to our Apostle John Yayo from IPAC, the IPAC acting chairman of Kaduna State, representing political parties generally. What are the challenges that you noticed as a part of IPAC team? What are the issues that were affecting political parties here in Kaduna State and also in governing political parties across the state?
Good afternoon, all. Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this platform. On our part, as political parties in Kaduna State, we encounter some challenges. I don't know if INEC are here. INEC? No, no, okay, INEC representative is not here, but I think they should be here so that because the challenges we had, number one is from the agent tax. You know, some years back, the political parties usually have the agent tax 2 days before the election. But for the previous, just past the 2023 elections, we had this tax the night before the election. And these tax are not enough for to go around the political, the polling units we have within the state. And that has posed in a serious challenge to political parties, like other parties that don't have the resources to print more tax at that night and transport it to the polling units across the 23 local government and also the 255 wards we have for distributions to polling units. So that has been a serious challenge to us at the 2023 general elections, where we come together as political parties and voice it out, hoping that we'll have a change in the coming 2027 general elections. And again, I will speak in this on behalf of my political party because every party has our own encounter with the INEC and challenges they had with the INEC. During the 2023 general elections, my gubernatorial candidate, which every one of us here will know him, Mahmoud Sani Shaban, we encounter so many challenges in terms of some changes here and there in the INEC, uploading of the INEC agent and other things which that BBC even organize debate. But the night before the debate, my gubernatorial candidate was removed. His name was removed from the list. These are all most of the things we encounter during the election period, and also the security agencies as political parties. We expect them in the process of electioneering period. They should uh, our agencies and other things we had experiences that it's so very unfortunate that in a country of Nigeria called Nigeria and in a state, Kaduna State, in the period of election, we encounter bias in some section of the state and polling units. So these are some of the challenges we encounter during the 2023 general elections. And as we discuss further, we'll say more and also find solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And so, stemming it down to Honorable Godia, we want to understand if these challenges that he spoke about are also reflected in your domain in the PDP, and then also what are the particular challenges that you encountered in the past elections as regards to the conduct of that election.
Thank you very much for this privilege. He did not, how would I say, introduce me properly. I am not the chieftain for PDP, but I'm the PDP state women's leader. Yes, Godia Ayuba. Thank you for the privilege to be able to speak. The challenges we encountered, first off, is vote buying. Yes, vote buying was a major challenge from the party in power, which was basically one of the biggest issues for us. Aside vote buying, we encountered insecurity because people were scared to go to some places that were considered in quote, this is an ABC area, so we cannot go. security was not with us, but with the party in power. So it was a very, very, very big challenge. Areas that are restricted to us, so we can't go there. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yes, so if our people cannot go to these areas that are restricted in quotes, then of what use is our presence there? We can't go. We are not secured. We are not sure that what we'll be doing there will be counted. So there are areas that we also saw people buying votes in mass, and we cannot do anything because we cannot report to the security there because they have been bought too. You understand? Yes, yes, yes. We can't complain. When we say something, it's okay, they just wave it. They will wave it and they will keep giving out money. So what do we do in that case? It was a challenge for us. It was a very, very big challenge. So we just did what we could do at that point and then leave the rest to God. So if I can mention that, yeah, we left the rest to God. Yes. So it was a big challenge. These are our major challenge as PDP. Yes.
Very much. And talking about vote buying, really, and sometimes it even cuts across one particular political party. Different parties were buying at different levels at different stages in the election. So generally, it has to be called across board, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to the comrade right now, I would like to ask, based on these challenges that you have seen so far, what particular reform that you think, if effected, is going to do a turnaround based on those challenges that you have noticed?
First, I think for me, the appointment of the chairman and other commissioners of the Independent Electoral Commission should be thrown open to every qualified Nigeria, not the president handpicking, not the president handpicking and subjecting it to the National Assembly for confirmation. Let any credible Nigeria dust your CVs, bring it forward, and apply for the position of INEC chairman, apply for the position of commissioner of any state. So for me, that is one. Secondly, we need to be very radical in some of our approaches. What redistribution? We should redistribute the commonwealth of Nigeria so that everyone will be a beneficiary of it. Because listening to the last speaker, she made mention of vote buying, and those votes are bought by with money. And the redistribution of the Nigerian Commonwealth will allow everybody has this money, and will allow everybody have the interest of coming forward to canvass for a position to be voted for. Because if you look at the challenges now, the Nigerian state today, money bags have hijacked our political terrain. It is strictly now for the bourgeois. So if this what this distribution has not taken place, some of us are common and remain common, who remain in that perpetual commonness, and things will not work well for the system. Second, lastly, the issue around uh, uh, who who decides who becomes finally a candidate. Allowing political parties to decide who becomes their candidate solely will not be well for the system, because at times you allow political parties decide who becomes their candidate without even referral to having who has the capacity, who has the knowledge to do the needful, to bring changes to the system. They are looking at it within the confines of only their political party. They are not looking at it at the larger scale of the Nigerian system. So I think INEC should do the needful to really work in synergy with political parties together. Who becomes a candidate and who becomes whatnot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll just move on to the. Thank you very much. I'll move on to Mr. Lawrence Bukegui from Reset Nigeria to hear his opinion on his perspective as to how we can mitigate these challenges and what reforms it takes, if implemented, is going to bring the change that we need.
Sorry, please, are we going to ask questions?
Yes, yes, you will.
Thank you very much. I think that I missed out the point when I was talking about some of the progress of the 2023 election. It was really, really unfortunate that among the candidates that were presented by almost all political parties, women were almost absent, almost. And that's why it is gratifying that there is a bill for constitutional amendment reserving special seats for women. And I want to encourage almost every civil society to hammer on that. Interestingly, President Muhammad Buhari, that we are all mourning, made 3 significant recommendations in appointments. He recommended somebody for African Development Bank. He recommended somebody for United Nations Under Secretary, and another person for the World Trade Organization. Interestingly, 2 of them are women. Among 3 of them, those recommendations, there is no doubt that the 2 shining lights are the women. And what that shows is that we can get this democracy back on track if you have more women participation in politics. So I think that one of the recommendation would be there shouldn't be any debate in that provision for special seats for women. It should be passed. Then on the other one, I think that one of the things I always discuss with people, always on radio, and I tell people that they ask for solutions to problems because they have a reason. Nobody talks about the values and characters of Nigerians. My colleague just talked about appointment. I'm not sure where they can get someone who will be honest enough to deliver credible election in Nigeria. Unfortunately, we are a country that looks for emergency fix instead of getting back to the root and solving our problem. I don't know. People talk about the National Orientation Agency and all that. But I know that in this country, when I was growing up, just the fear of war against indiscipline is the beginning of wisdom. I think we should go back to the basics. All of us as parents are failing. And if we are not bringing up well-behaved children, in 30 years, no child remains a child for 20 years. This society, I don't know where you get the savings to manage Nigeria. So I think the first fix would be for all of us to look inward, look at failure, and confirm to ourselves that we have all failed as parents, and begin to mold a new generation. People we might not even see, but we can die hoping that Nigeria will be better. But if we continue to advocate the president should appoint, this person should appoint, the characters and behaviors and values in Nigeria are poor. So I don't think that there's anybody that is going to make that change. So I think we should move back to the basics and start training children well so that when they become adults, we can have people who can represent us. Today we talk about everything about the late President Buhari. Nobody talks about whether he's a good man. Everybody, there is a general agreement that he was an honest man. So how many other honest men are here in Nigeria? So who's going to pilot INEC? More fundamental is the fact that one of the outcomes I saw in the 2023 general election is that most of the reforms that were undertaken by INEC, according to the Supreme Court and other courts, have no constitutional backing. So maybe in 2027, we should pay more attention to aligning the constitutional amendments to the electoral reforms so that whatever we have agreed that this is what the reform should say in the electoral reforms, we should have a constitutional backing. So we go back and forth, everybody goes with anti-saying we are going to vote credible people, and the court start throwing them out as a result of lacunas in our laws. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. In 3 minutes, can you give me a list, Apostle John Yayo, a quick list of your own reform that you think that if implemented would make a difference for you?
One of it is it should be spelled out clearly that the police and other security sisters and security agencies should stay clear from the police units. Let's try military this time around. Let's have the armies around the police units. Let's also, yes.
One house, it is his own observation.
Yes.
It is his own opinion. Let's allow him to speak.
Let's try the armies this time around. Let's have the Air Force and the Army should be at the police units this time around. Whether we get it right. Yes, I think maybe we get it right. If we try that and it fails, then we just allow the police unit to be, let the strongest have it. But I think we should give the military a chance this time around to see who will have this. And again, the political party funding system should also be brought back. What do I mean? Let the INEC begin to fund the political parties so that there will be equality in how they spend. There will be equality and check. They will be able to checkmate how much did we fund you with and how much did you spend, so that it will go within that line. I think we'll have this issue of vote buying that Ms. Gudia is talking about. We'll be able to mitigate it and also see that it's not there. And again, this I gave you two. Okay? Two what?
Yes.
So no, let me add.
The last one.
And again, let's be able to have cameras fixed in these polling units. Let's have camera and a situation room where people, even people from different political parties, civil society, will be in that situation, seeing what is happening in the polling units across the federation. If we do that, we'll be able, this issue of changing of results. Oga was talking about something earlier today. Politicians are not mad people that you will project 65 and they are having 65 in their pocket and they will start ranting. No. If they have 65 as a result, as the result, the result sheet, and you are projecting 30, why won't they raise eyebrows? They will talk, they will argue it, but it's left for the electoral empire, the INEC, either accept it or not. It's left for the security agencies that are there either to arrest the person announcing that fake result there or not. So please, once we do that, the cameras are there, political fundings is being brought back to the Electoral Act, and military is being tried. I think we will get it right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Apostle. And so, just before he speaks, I'd like to introduce him before I was. And so, Honorable President, we are going to get to you shortly. But I'd like to introduce to us the chairman for Jonapid here in Kaduna State. And we have with us Mr. Suleiman Abdulaziz. Let's clap for him, please. Presenting persons dealing with disability here in Kaduna State. He will be joining us and will give his opinion shortly after Honorable Godia discuss. So, Honorable Godia, let's hear from you as to your own suggestion to the reform that needs to be implemented that will cause a change, and then do that in 3 minutes.
Okay, first of all, I'm a strong supporter of introducing military. Yes, I'm speaking from experience. Yes. Yeah, I'm a strong supporter of introducing soldiers to the polling units for elections. Truly, I think at a point, they tend to stand in the middle more than the other. Yes, they tend to stand in the middle because we have experienced it. I was in a rerun in Kauru and I saw how soldiers acted compared to police. Honestly, they tend to stand in the middle more. So if that will be introduced, I think it will help us. Then sensitizing our people, we ourselves, First of all, corruption does not just start from the top. It starts from you stealing meat from your mother's pot, taking small change from your mother's pocket, small activities they give you money to give your friend and you cut short, or they give you money to give somebody you cut it short. That character begins to grow right from childhood. Like he said, when we groom our children, yes, when we groom our children, there's going to be, when we groom them well, I mean, to understand integrity, there's going to be a change in the nation. Also, the issue of employment, the issue of employment is very, very vital. There are some key things that we need to point out that will help correct others rather than hammering on things that cannot just change on their own. You see, employment, when we hammer on it and they take change and they begin to create employment for people, vote buying will be reduced. Because when you have your money, nobody will buy you. That's the truth. So I think these three things that I've listed is going to help us.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah. And so I'll be introducing to us the Assistant Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, Northwest Nigeria, is Reverend Stephen Ibrahim joining us here. So let's start for him, please. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. So I'll be hearing now from the representative from Junapit, and in 5 minutes, 2 minutes for challenges, and then 3 minutes for your solutions. So please let's tell us the challenges that you face, or less if possible, if possible. So let's hear from you the challenges that you encountered in the last election as part of Junapit, managing Junapit here in the state, and then also the solutions that you think are going to bring reforms that you desire.
Good. Thank you for having this opportunity. I'm Abdulaziz from the National Association of Persons with Disability in the state. You know, for quite a long time, persons with disability in Nigeria and face a lot of challenges when we come to election. Persons with disability cannot get it right unless three things are kept aside. One, political using politics using money, and then politics using religious and ethnicity, and political using discrimination. Let me start with discrimination. I happen to be a flag bearer on the PPE, Progressive People's Alliance. The first question, is it allowed for somebody with physical disability to rule people without disability?
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's the first question. And then persons with disability have a double tax. And then you have to let people to be clear that despite that you have a disability and you have an opportunity to vote and be voted for. And then you start taking it off from there and then sell out yourself. People to know that your disability have to be kept aside and facing the ability. It is kind of the politics that we are facing. That is why the one of the prior persons with disability come out and contest. And then secondly, another obstacle is from political parties, because we have minimal challenges from the INEC. The huge challenges is from the political parties. We are the people sell the first winning party in Nigeria, PDP. And it is a force that forces us to leave, to jump to another party. And then persons with disability, when it comes to election, we have challenges on the day of election, because on what INEC put in place is being hijacked by the political party's agent. Because when you have a disability, if you are not in support or with the party that have a majority in the polling unit, you may not have access and confidence to cast your vote. Because we don't have an accessible or accessibility polling unit. You will see where the ballot box is being kept. You have to cross a water or a top, something like a Kilimanjaro, go and cast your vote. How do you expect somebody with physical disability or somebody with spinal cord and the rest to go up and cast their vote?
So what are your
The solution is the political parties should pave a way without considering, well, which background did you come from? I know minimal party or the smaller party have that one. But when it comes to the bigger parties, that you have to pay a millions of naira, you don't have access. You have to, you can't come near them. But if the sensitization and the awareness should start from the political parties, because it is the political parties being your voice as a person with disability or as a citizen. But what we are saying here, if we don't have a background from the political parties, I can work directly with the political parties, not with the candidates. And then our sensitization and focus should focus on the political parties to make a huge amendment so that persons with disability can have a vote.
Thank you very, very much. So we are trying to save time so that we can have enough questions and answers from the crowd. Okay, so moving on to the Reverend right now, we understand that religious leaders as well as traditional leaders have a role to play when it comes to elections. And so we want to understand from the perspective of the religious leaders, speaking about the Reverend Stephen Ibrahim, as to the challenges that was faced by the religious bodies when it comes to elections and his opinion on reforms in 5 minutes or less.
Thank you very much. I greet you all. The first thing I want to speak about is if there is no fear of God, then nothing will happen. Every one of us at the polling unit is coming from a religion. And there's no religion that teaches violence. No religion teaches you to go and be a miscreant anywhere. So one of the things I discovered is I didn't see the fear of God. Blatant arrogance, so many things that the time failed me to begin to mention. But you see, the Bible speaks about in John chapter 14, verse 1. Jesus says, do not let your heart be troubled. Believe in me. Believe in God, believe also in me. And that is to say that if you believe in God and you believe whoever you are calling your God, then the fear of God should guide you during elections. So that whether as authority, whether as an aspirant, whether as a voter, you will display high sense of responsibility during elections. I'm just speaking in a holistic manner, hoping that you all will understand. Solution is let's go back to God. Pray to God. Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. The Lord will bless you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to get feedback from people who are here. Okay, so we have. Okay, so we're going to do. Okay, so let me see if you have one 2, 3. Okay, let me have it. Let's have a lot person. So I'll do 1. You have spoken before. Let's leave it aside, please. Don't shoot. Okay, let's do 1, 2, and then 3. Let's do 3. For now. Okay. So I'll start from, let's start from you. Since you are closer to me.
I have to say my name or I just say that?
You can just say your name and
My name is Angela Edoka from Opuja. I want to go to the comrade first. He said something about issues around who decides who becomes the political, the candidate of the political parties. That this should be decided by ANEC. I don't understand that. Please, can you explain further? Because the political parties themselves are the ones that have this candidate. So how is it possible for INEC to decide for them? That's one. And then that's what he said. Isn't that what you said? Because I couldn't make sure what you said. Then my brother here said something about the courts being the ones that now decide who becomes the winner of a political context. So, and that most of these things are not aligning with the constitution. Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay. So so what should be done? Okay.
last one, right?
Yeah, but I still have one for so that
Join them.
I also heard the one person here said something about the fact that Suleiman, he said something about agents being the one that hijacked the polling unit. What do you mean by that? And then lastly, sir, the Reverend sir, I am a Christian, but I've seen situations whereby most times, even in church, it is the Reverend Fathers and the Reverends themselves and the pastors that come to tell their congregations to vote for. So you're talking about the fear of God. How will the fear of God start if the person at the end of affairs is the one that is actually pushing people? Thank you.
Okay, to just gather the questions, we'll come back to them, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Imam Hussein from the Database Medicine Center, Kaduna here. My brother talk about the appointment of INEC chairman. As a stakeholder and also as a religious leader, I was one of our observers during the last elections. This appointment is very, very important because you have to do something about it. It gives too much confidence to the incumbents. They have confidence when they know that they are the one that appointed the INEC chairman and others. They have too much confidence. It's very important to do something about that. As a religious leader too, I would want to advise PAACA that it is very important for you to try as much as possible to engage religious leaders about the electoral reform, to be neutral. Because I'm a religious leader, I know what is going on. These politicians that we are talking about, they are very close to all imams and pastors. As I'm talking to you, someone is talking to me from Oyo State. So it's very important as an organization to engage this religious leader, to be neutral, especially during the elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, PAACA, for this
opportunity. My names are Reverend John Anko, also from Interfaith Mediation Center. Now, my own is very simple, and I want to talk strictly about vote buying. The issue is that until we are able to do something about vote buying, we can never have a credible election in this country, whether we like it. Until we do something against vote buying, we can never have credible election in this country, because what vote buying is actually is conscience purchasing. That's what it is. Conscience purchasing. They purchase the conscience of people through the little meager that is offered to them. And so because they are poor, they are not forced to do whatever it takes. Not because that is what their conscience really wants, but because the conscience has been bought over. I remember some times ago, I wrote an article to House of Assembly single-handedly against electoral vote buying. And it went to the point that I was able to see the House of Rep member from my own constituency in Benue State. And when I presented the matter before him, he read it. All that could come out from his mouth is that, my brother, there is no how I can present this on the house. He said the day I tried that, I will be stoned right on the floor of the Senate. And I said, why? He said, because that is how all of us came in. And so until we are able to do something about that, I'm sorry. So what I'm asking for now is if PAACA will actually take the real bullet of going to every community and start people, because you cannot mortgage your future for a sachet of Indomie, a sachet of cowbell, and and then you mortgage everything back. That's number one. Number two, sir, the issue of religious voting is equally another problem. We are in the days where pastors will go to their altar and tell people to vote for someone because it's of religious extraction, because of his religious right, because he's a Christian, not because he's qualified. And also the imams will do the same thing. And it has come to that level that even the entire polity goes to the same level. And that is very, very much bad. Now, in the last election, we saw what happened between Muslim ticket and another. Sir, if you do not consider that tomorrow, there is no electoral reform. So, in suggestion, I am going to suggest that one, we must make it an act of parliament that anyone caught indulge in vote buying, this must be the penalty. Today we have EFCC that go after people who they look at corrupt, right? Until people begin to be chased for indulging in vote buying, there is no how they can be corrected. And of course, if it takes you to tango, right, there must be a giver and there must also be a receiver. So both the receiver and the giver must face the same punishment for that. That is equally what I think about. That's the only one. Why are you doing hand like this?
Very engaging discussion. It's just that, just like the previous speaker, some things have already been named that and have been crowned as something that is impossible. A few of us were at a political gathering like 2-3 weeks ago when somebody, I don't want to say who, but a very prominent politician in the midst of people gathered from the north, east, northwest, was talking and he said something, oh, when a woman becomes the president, he said, God forbid. What would be the president? It already tells you where we're headed. So, it's already mindset and it's something that must have been discussed. Because they are the people that make women, even within their parties, to come out and contest. And this is what that person said. Even though he came back and apologized, but we know that came straight from her heart. So the thing is, by the time we come out as women, it is the same religious leaders that will come out and say how unfit we are to lead. And then the same men that are advocating for us will not stand by us And worse still, our fellow women. A lot of women have come out. So we have to, if we say we are leaving it to the decision makers or the men in politics to make room for women, that is not going to happen because we already know we are struggling, we are trying to get somewhere, and the people that are supposed to create the space have already now told us because we said, well, that's fine. We will also don't come out and vote for you. But the thing is, we are saying it here. If tomorrow Honorable Godia comes out and says she wants to do something, to be honest in our heart, I want to stand by her. Regardless of what the imam says or what the pastor says, regardless of the patriarchal nature of a man or the jealous nature of a woman thinking she is going to come. We all have our biases and we allow those biases to take control. Now when we're talking about vote buying, it's not about the person who's bringing the money to buy. It's about you who's receiving. Yes, so it starts with us. We are the only people that can change this. We have seen situations where people have come out to contest and they had nothing. Shekarov did that. He had nothing. And the people made up their mind and they voted for him. So why can't we do the same? Why can't they come with their stuff and we shun them and we do the right thing? We can do it. We've done it in several cases. We have records of it and we can still do it. So it's not about pushing it to the parliamentarians. We've heard what he said. That thing will never fly. So that policy you're looking for that will give you the power to lock somebody up will never fly because the person that is supposed to push for it will not push. So we're the only ones that can force it down there. So we're the only ones that have to make up our minds that we want to do this, agree, and work on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Time will not permit us to take more questions from now, please. Not for you, there are other people, but then we are going to have another session where we have recommendations done on paper, where you can put all of that observations on paper and then we'll gather all of those and then we'll take them along with us. So please, I'll just give the panelists one minute to attend to the questions that are so far been directed to them, so that after we can then move to the next.
Thank you very much. Concerning pastors telling members who to vote, I want you to understand that apart from being a pastor, we are human. As humans, we are not claiming to be superhumans. Pastors differ. I will speak for myself. I lead my congregation to know their responsibility. I lead them to know that they are supposed to vote based on their conscience. I don't tell them who to vote or who not to vote. I teach them to understand that whatever they do or whoever they vote will affect them in the near future. So they are trained to know that, taught to know that whoever they vote has a way of getting back at them. Thank God for my colleagues who have spoken here. They have raised very pertinent issues that I think we need to trash later. But the one that spoke about Christian leaders or pastors not giving women chance or so, the Bible does not contain a woman to lead. There are women in the Bible who have led, like Deborah, Esther, so many of them that have led the Bible. So even in the government, you can see that there are a lot of Christian women who are partisan in politics and they are also doing very well. The rest of the issues, I don't want to delve into them now because the pastor that spoke a while ago tried addressing some of those issues which are very pertinent. So the Lord will help us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. Comrade, directed to you, right?
Yes, merci. The Electoral Act 2022 gave the election body the right to observe party preference. But where enforcement of such party primaries are not being oversight or being monitored by INEC, it becomes a problem. We are not saying outrightly that INEC should be the selection of who becomes a nominated candidate for a political party, but they should make sure they do their oversight and they should do the monitoring and evaluation who, when, where those party primaries held and who became the flag bearer. That is just it. We are not saying that they should outrightly make it becomes the flag bearer of a political party. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You said you already answered the question. Yeah, okay. 1 minute.
Okay. Concerning vote buying, please, how can you stop somebody from taking something when you give nothing in return? What did you give them to encourage them to not take? That's why I place emphasis on let's hammer on employment. When we have something in return, then they won't have any reason to take. Also, how many percentage of people in Nigeria get to engage in this kind of sensitive discussion? How many of us go out and sensitize people after having these privileges? So how do we get them to know that there is a need for them not to do so or so? Most of us waste our time on social media and things rather than sensitive discussions like this.
Thank you very, very much. Let's give a round of applause to our candidates for their time and for being so resourceful in this session. Thank you very much. May please go back to your seat now. Thank you very much. Let's clap for them. At this point, I will go over to the pictures. Okay. Okay, so at this point, I'll be handing over to the director to get his observation on the issues at hand. Thank you. And then the question was directed to him directly, so he will just respond then and then give his own opinion on the discussions that have been taken so far. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a very robust panel. Hello, everyone. Can we come together now? When we started, I told you this is a masterclass. Now, the reason we did this panel, hello, sir. The reason we did this panel is to also open up our understanding, our individual understanding of the different rules of the different stakeholders. Please, the reason you have a notepad in what we gave you is so that you can take notes. You understand what I'm saying? The shortest pencil is better than the best method. No matter what you think you have retained in your mind, when you leave this place, if they ask you what happened to this meeting, if you don't refer to your notes, you will say it was very good meeting. But very good meeting does not define what happened here. Am I correct? First is the court as deciders of who becomes what. The court is part of the electoral process. Judicial adjudication is part of the electoral process. We cannot take it away. The abuse of a drug does not make that drug irrelevant. Am I speaking? That somebody abuses paracetamol, does it mean that paracetamol will no longer cure anything? Cure. So let's not stay on the abuse. Let us understand the role of the judiciary in the electoral process. If there was no judiciary, the man in Kano will not be governor today. The man in Plateau, PDP, will not be governor in Plateau today. It was the intervention of the court that retained them. Even when in Plateau, for instance, the Court of Appeal had removed all the PDP.
It is because that of the governor went to Supreme Court that the Supreme Court was able to hold him there. Are we together on that? Now, every challenge that you have, you don't say because there is a problem, you do away the process. It's a working. There are corrupt churches, but many times it is the court that dictates Osun. Osun is opposition political parties. That also it went up to Supreme Court. The PDP is governor in Osun State. There is court case in Enugu. The court retained the PDP governor where? In Enugu State. Retained in Advocacy. It is the court that also intervened in Adamawa. So when you deal with challenges, don't just say the judiciary because you have an expectation. And now let me tell you something about outcomes. Outcomes is for honorable. Outcomes in an election is the interest of honorable. As a PDP woman leader, she wants her party to win. So she's interested in outcome. But we should be interested in process. This process, how did it lead to this outcome? So when you say people are angry about the outcome of the election, are you listening to me? When you say people are angry about the outcome of election, those who lose election will be angry. In 2023, between P2B and Atiku, they polled close to 13 million votes. Is that not so? The winner of the election polled 8 million votes. Right? Now listen to me carefully. Because of the division, this party has this number of votes, this party they lost election. But if you put the number of the people who lost election together, they are 13 million. So if you take microphone and you go to the streets to do interview, the people who will likely want to talk to you are the people who belong to the party that lost. The people who won the election don't have time for interview. They are going there. So you come and say people are angry about outcome. Now this is the way elections are won in Nigeria. You win election by first highest number of votes cast and spread to touch in 25 states. Are we together? That's how you win election. So what does it mean? Tinubu lost election in Kaduna State. Am I right? He lost. So when you gather the votes, he's called. Now, another person is winning in the southeast. 89%, 90% of the votes in the southeast. When you gather the total votes cast, if you go to the register and look at the total votes cast in the southeast, Kano alone can wipe it. Are we together? So when you say people are angry about the outcome, you are talking like a partisan. And it is their right to talk the way they like. I don't know if you understand. Because if they won the election will have been gone very well. If election goes very well, because you won, even if there are things that went wrong in the process, you will say it went very well. I know a politician who was addressing the press when the election was still going on and was talking about all the irregularities, everything. And then later they announced that he won.
Everything has went.
And when he won, he said that INEC is the best thing that. It is. So you need to stay on process. If you stay on process, the problem with us is that we are closet partisans. We are, even though we play roles, different roles, whether as election observer, inside our mind, there is an outcome that we are looking for. When that outcome does not happen, we now impose our internal expectations into what everybody will want. And that is why it is important that we're careful when we talk about outcomes. Outcome of election is a very deceiving thing. Even in families, people don't agree. There are people who are APC, Labour, inside one family. They don't agree. Election divides. So those who are called to the responsibility of watching the process should keep their eye on the process and stay there and make comments in the understanding of the process. So when you are making a recommendation, you are not making, if you listen to the IPAC person, listen to Honorable, my sister, the way they were speaking, you will see that they didn't contribute anything to the problem of the election. Their party was not in the vote bank. Their party did not buy any vote bank. You know, it is the other party that bought. So, but we are all Nigerians. I don't know if you understand. But it is within her right to speak with. If she doesn't speak like that, then she's not a partisan person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If the IPAC person does not speak the way he speaks, when a civil society person is speaking, there is something I want to hear. I want to see knowledge. Somebody who understands the process deeply. But there's what I call arrogance of civil society. And that arrogance is to say that because you are in civil society, that you understand the process. And that is not true. We are talking about appointment of INEC. And the people who spoke passionately. But can somebody tell me the process of appointing INEC chairman and the President Electoral Commission? How does the process go? Because if you want a change of something, if you want a change of something, you have to say what currently exists. How does INEC and President Electoral, what is the process that it goes for appointments to take place? You want to try something?
The president identifies and presents to the National Council of States. They approve, then presents to the National Assembly and they ratify.
Please put your hands together for him. Now, look at the process. The process says, comrade, please come. Let's demonstrate it. I am president. I have identified comrade as somebody I want to be. I'm a chairman. All right? And then, who constitutes Council of State?
Former president, vice president, chief justice, speakers, and this, and then the serving.
Excellent. So I bring this man to this respectable people and say, I want to appoint comrade as INEC chairman. And all of them keep quiet. They know that comrade is a group. No, hold on. Please, if you don't demonstrate something properly, they know that these people, former head of states, attorney general, former chief justice, former they all constitution. The president brings this man. Even if this president is God Almighty, he brings a group. All of them keep quiet.
right? He's appointed. No, they say, okay, go ahead. Then he takes it to a place where 360 representatives of the people by population. The House of Representatives is representative of the people by what? By what now? By population. The Senate is 109 by equality, right? Representing the people. In 2023 alone, the Senate is made up of 22% of people in quotes opposition political party. In quotes, opposition. The House of Representatives in quotes is constituted of 42% of people in quotes opposition. 360, 109. We go to the Senate. I take this cook to the Senate. Maybe you are not a good man. Thank you, sir. I carry this cook again and say this. I want to be IHR. DSS. DSS. Please, DSS. 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 Please, DSS. Tell me, and I know some of you are DSS. And so, DSS, please find out for me whether this man is clean. They come to the report and say it's not. Or there is a lesser and then at the end of it, he is appointed. What is the problem? And that was why I told you what you said. The point you made was very exciting to me. This man fails, the National Assembly fails in its responsibility. The Council of States fails in its responsibility. CFS fails in their responsibility. Where is that place where we will go to?
Somebody else to say no.
Somebody said, let every qualified Nigerian. Somebody will interview that qualified Nigerian to know whether this certificate he brought is fake. Abi, yes. As all Nigerians who apply, we know that we know that people have bad record. Somebody has to look at it. If we have 360 people, 109 people, who cannot do a job for which they've been elected to do, so we have a big challenge with our appointment. So what is the solution? Is to have a law and order regime where people who have responsibilities do their job. If your council of state say this man you brought is not eligible, bring another person. Even if you want to manipulate somebody, you can manipulate somebody who is eligible. That's the truth. But in the appointment of vice chancellor, we appoint disabled people. We appoint people who have disabilities. And I'm not talking about the physical disabilities. I'm talking about people who we know have problems. So that when they start acting, you now bring their and say, come, you know you are not the one. Are we together? Thank you so very much. Half of public is not a Are we learning anything? All right, so vote by. Actually, if I snatch this your bag, if you are going home now, I snatch this bag and you pursue me and get hold of me and get your bag back, and I say sorry, I'm not eating this money. That's why I snatch it. What will you do? You say it's mine. All right. So the excuse we hoist for is not accepted. Poverty does not explain
But they had integrity.
My mother was not poor. I'm on television talking vote buying, against vote buying. My mother collected. And I met her. As I was talking, I said, this vote buying, she said, God, talk your nonsense. You said this 2000. But I'm just telling you how. Now, do we have a law? Do we have a law that prohibits vote buying? It is already in the law. It's there. In fact, the law gets to the point of sharing food and drink is an offense for which you are going to please. It is called greeting around the vicinity. No, you are my guest, so I can give you food. But if you share food around, so you are ready. So what I'm saying is that the law does not address the question of vote buying. It is a mindset. If our people see election as a bazaar, when we are talking about vote buying in the general election, what about the dollarization of your primaries? No, because in open, dollars were shared in Port, dollars were shared at the Eagle Square, and all of us saw you. No, that's what I'm saying. So already our mindset as civil society and as actors, we have responsibility to start talking to our people. The religious leaders, your own vote buying is the launching that you took towards election. Even drop money for them, which now makes your building that you have been building for the past 3 years. Once election comes, you invite them to come and say you want to do launching of 200 million buildings something. You have to start inviting them. All of them. We know these things. We all are contributing to challenge, and we have a responsibility to do it. Security, madam. Security. Please do not ask for army to come to the communities. Now let me tell you, there's what you call interagency consultative committee on election security. It's called access. The access is shared by the IG of police and INEC chairman. Every security agency, including paramilitary, are part of that interagency consultative committee on election security. Now the architecture, listen to me. The architecture of the polling booths presence is on armed security in the polling units. 300 meters away, armed security, and in the outer layer, the army. If there is a problem in the polling units, break down the plan for that. The one in the polling unit will call the. But the problem is that the dominant political party, remember what I'm saying, because you can be dominant in Para and you are not the one dominant in Kaduna. So the dominant in Kaduna has been giving vehicles to the police. Listen to me, supporting internal security operations with vehicles. The police, the DSS attends security council meeting and collects allowances. Election time is way back. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if it is PDP that is dominant, the PDP does it. If it is APC that is dominant, the APC does it and controls. Look at what they are doing in the local government election. No, because if there is a righteous party, it would have been different. That also. But what PDP did in this state is what APC do in their own state. 100%. That's what Labour will do. 100%. So the challenge is that we are not engaging from the point of doing something right. And that's why when I started, I said we should not be territorial. Are we getting what I'm saying? The challenge is that not only government, Dangote, for instance, will give vehicles to police, right? 20 vehicles to police in Kaduna, 20 vehicles. If Dangote truck jams your car, where are you going to? So I'm asking you, the vehicle that is coming to come and check the accident, there is Dangote support for that. We are joking about it, but that is control. So it's not just government, it's about dominance. If you are rich, you control the security apparatus. Are we getting what I'm saying? So what is our role? Our role, why we have a multi-stakeholder engagement, is so that everybody gets the same thing at the same time. It's not, if you say, well, we call religious leaders, and we've done this over the years. I've been in this work for a very long time. When you call religious leaders don't want you to talk about them. They want you to talk about other people. When you bring civil society together, civil society does not want you to talk about civil society. They want you to talk about it. When you bring political parties together, they don't want you. So now we are all in the same room. Why I am breaking this down is for us to understand that for us to salvage the situation, we have to all collectively agree that there is a challenge. Are we agreed on that? That there is a challenge. And that we all have a role to play. So for the next 30 seconds, put a mirror in your front. Put your hand like this. 30 seconds. Just put your hand like this. That's a mirror. What are you seeing? You are seeing hand. No, I said imagine that a mirror.
Myself.
You are seeing yourself. Now, if I solve my own problem, solve your own problem, everybody solves their own problem, there is a problem. You see, but what happens is, now, use that mirror to face me. The same thing, do the same thing, everybody face it. I am the problem. I am the problem. And I cannot be, because I am the problem. And you are the problem. When we take my food, we want that loss to be done. We are going to take, hello, Asaa. We are going to the news. So we are going into the news. When you go into this school, please do not talk about other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't bother about what political parties have done wrong. Can you tell us what you can do from your own perspective to get things better from the point where you operate? Are we on it together? Can we do that? I want us to try and discipline ourselves to see, because that's the only way solution can come. There is no way you can talk about other people. You know why I think it's soft like that? Have you ever asked yourself why everybody that talks? No, they are not. Look at women participation in politics. INEC cannot tell the political party bring women. It is what INEC, what political parties bring. And Comrade was talking about the power of INEC in internal party. Seven, no power. No power. If you bring anything according to the current law, INEC has no business. What INEC can do
is to look at the constitution and say this candidate is he of age? If he's of age, you can't say anything. If he's not of age and you write to them, the person can go to court and say, who told you I'm not of age? And it will be in court for till that election. Till the 10th of April. So the power of INEC, the reason why it is so is that the politicians are the biggest problem of election.
Is it possible? There was somebody that I don't know whether it was said one, wealth should be redistributed. I wonder how you do that. That's one. And then two, that
we are not in a socialist. We are not in a socialist. We are in a capitalist. We live in a capitalist. Wait, we live in a capitalist country. What it's saying, which I understand, is to say that to create conditions where what, unfortunately for us, all the political parties have signed in to the World Bank and the IMF. They are implementing their programs. Somebody was saying, oh, Buhari should have, Buhari died in the hospital in London. He should have died in the hospital in Nigeria. Okay, I don't know how Kaduna is, but Abuja, where I live, General Hospital Maitama has been privatized. So it's a private hospital. Hospital in Hussein have been privatized. Yes, National Hospital privatized. They are all private hospitals. But the CPR General Hospital, who says it's owned by Dr. Wada, another doctor owns the other one. Like that. That's how it works. Now, that's why I said I don't know how that is. If the general hospitals in Kaduna are still government hospitals, look, that's what I'm saying. If you go to do operation and you don't have a HIS, how much do you pay? Right? So if you have through government policy, hospitals have been privatized.
But there is still federal medical center.
That's
still owned and managed by government.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. National Orthopedic Hospital is owned by government, right? But I'm not telling you that they are now fee paying. Yes. Somebody wants to do orthopedic surgery. It's 5 million. That's not federal hospital. Even in May, I don't know if you understand. The ones that have not been concessioned have been made commercialized. If they are not privatized, they are commercialized. Now, if you have commercialized them, it's the same thing.
It's just language that's it.
It's language. So why don't I go to St. Nicholas Hospital that I know is private? And then I was telling Isaiah, I said, if you build a new hospital today and call it government hospital, the pharmacists, Nigerian pharmacists that you employ to work in a government hospital, we establish no pharmacy and steal the drugs. Steal the drugs and go and sell it to pharmacy. And you say Nigeria does not work. You come and see a doctor, you'll be talking to you after a while, you say, okay, for better care, go to this hospital. Scan is his own. The hospital is asking you to go to is his own.
They will even discourage you from the public hospital.
Are they not in the public hospital? In their private hospital. So why am I saying this? I am building this narrative problem for us to understand that the point you eat about value, about character, is what should govern the group session that we are going into.
What went wrong? It
What went wrong is IMF and the World Bank. our problems.
If you don't know it, better know it today. When the World Bank came, he said government has no business in business. All of you we are helping them to say it. Government has no business in business.
So there is no business for government and everybody is up.
Yes. So government says, okay, is that correct? No, we don't have anything in business. So government will use your money and build hospital and sell it. Sell. Slap for that, madam. Build hospital and sell it at the cheap themselves. What they have not sold now, they are the one that will come next time. Sell it. They sell it progressively.
They've even sold us. So what is left?
No, they sell it progressively. So you can be shouting Obasanjo just like I said. Right? Jonathan continued to sell it. When these ones were campaigning in 2023, the three of them said themselves.
Yes, sir.
That what is remaining that then is second. Three of them said themselves and they will move substance. Nigerians, we are talking about their persons. Nigerians, we are not looking at their economic policy. We are shouting about who is better.
Sorry, sir, I want to make a clarification because I think that when it comes to national policies, you'll be the one talking to us. So I think that this session is about what we do in Kaduna.
No, I'm not.
No, I want to make a point.
No, even Kaduna, hold on. The national helps you to extrapolate.
I want to make a point.
Okay.
Okay, so what you are saying is national. When we spoke about loss of confidence in election,
yes.
I'm not sure we're talking about the national politics.
Okay.
We are talking about consigned source because this is where we work. I don't go to Kaduna to go ahead to Abuja to go and observe election. So, and I think that this session also is for our local politics. We want to understand how things work here, and so that we can use it.
Okay, I will also explain something to you, about your local politics and about loss of confidence. That's why I said be careful. When you're testing confidence, if voter registration comes out now, if they say there is voter registration, will people of Kaduna come out to register? No, they will come out to register. No, you see, we added 10 million in 2000. When was the last voter registration? 2022. We added 10 million voters. 10 million. In Anambra now, right? Voter registration is going on. There is huge people who participate in voter registration. They also participated in the electoral process. No, if you go and say register to vote, what have you done?
No, do they vote?
No, voting. Listen now. Is voter registration part of the electoral process? So, if 10 million people get into your register, they have participated in the voter register. So, when you say voter apathy, you are wrong. What you talk about is turnout.
What we refer to. You know the English we talk.
That's why I came here. But you are not letting me talk. So
No, I understand.
you are not letting me talk. Turnout, voter turnout is different from voter apathy. Because apathy will mean lack of interest in the process. But there are many reasons why people vote or don't vote. Some of them don't vote because government is no longer useful for them. Not necessarily because of the conduct of the election. It has more to do with that government has failed them. Especially the rich. Many rich people in Nigeria produce their own electricity. They are doing solar. They are doing their own security. They are doing borehole. So the government does not mean anything to them. So when you say come and vote, they ask you what there. For the poor, it's because they don't even know what the voters card means. But our job is to say this. This voters card, the bread it is tied to it. This voters card that you even the rich play with. These guys that you elect, you don't like them, or they found a way. If 20 people come out and vote, and 18 people, 20 people vote, 11, let's say 21 people vote. If 11 people make somebody a leader, that person becomes a leader for that territory. Then can be crumbling. Incidentally, that's so when I'm talking about that the loss of confidence, I see the use of it all the time. And I'm saying contextualize it properly. That's all I'm saying. Contextualize it properly. When you say people have lost confidence, tell me what they have lost confidence in. The parties are talking about coalition. Now, when you watch television or you listen to Adrian, those of them who are still talking about it, when you hear them say, we are angry, we are disappointed. Have you ever asked them disappointed in what? And for what? Are you disappointed in the policy? Are you disappointed in the policy that is being right now? We are talking about nationalization, we are talking about privatization, we are talking about removal of subsidy. If you are elected, will you stop privatization? Will you allow our universities to function? Will you kill the public university and build your own and license your own and make sure you don't want to man that the strength of the poor can tell? This is the policy that is governing everything right now. And so, when you say people have lost confidence, be careful what you're saying. Who is the person that has lost confidence? If you come to election today, as 2027 is coming, there are millions of people who are on social media. Some don't even live in Nigeria. They are talking about the election. But to come out to vote, they are talking with participation. Positively, negatively. It's all participation. But coming out to vote is like when those of us who would like to protest. If we call for protest now, somebody will say, comrade, you should protest in the go, one like protest go, what like that? You are the protest points. And you call him and say, is the catcher is one lie about what it will be the same thing. You see this process. I don't know if you understand. It's the same thing. The man talks about it, excitement, or on the top. It does not connect with the dots and see how not voting or voting affects it. Are we together? Yes.
Absolutely. For people to hear it. Okay, thank you. I think people now want to register for the voters card just to have a voters card identity. Opening account for online registration, but it's not like people go there to get the voters card so they can vote. And I think that is why we have more people registering for the voters card. Although voting, I think people have to do.
But is it participation?
No, I'm just saying.
No, what I'm saying is that the motivation
is part of the process.
Their motivation for registration
it's political identity.
No, their motivation, they are the one their motivation. But for me,
actually, I've heard people, I've heard say, I just wanted this one.
No, I agree with you. There are communities, let me tell you, in some communities, they gather together and say, in some communities, they gather together and say, we want to up our voter register. So that we can get what? So that when they are creating what? So they contribute money and give voter registers, give security, give everybody, and say register. register us, including people who are not around. No, I'm just saying. Now, every effort that is put in the electoral process is participation. That's my definition. Do you understand? Now, what you do is another matter. I know that the cheapest means of identity card in Nigeria is voters card. If you want international passport, you pay. If you want driver's license, you pay. For the voter card, you don't pay. You don't pay anything. So people register, but our work is to now begin to unpack participation, voter turnout. What are those things that can make people come out to vote? Now, in Kebbi State, there was a by-election in Kebbi State. In Kebbi State in 2024. That by-election recorded the highest number of turnout. Rapper and 20,000 naira to the yes. So people came out to take rapper and vote. There was another election in Electoral Federal Constituency in Lagos. Turnout was 11%. Electoral is where you have your Victoria Island, you have your Asaa, you have your. That's where the business. There was no shutdown. Nobody didn't even know. But somebody is presenting that constituency, whether they participated or not. So go spaghetti, go atapane, whatever motivates you to come out. Now we can be talking about law, whether the law recognizes in Anambra State, if you remember. The governor, former governor of Anambra State, gave every community 3 months to election to 20 million because of community support.
Yeah. Engaging community. So when Kaduna went there to go and election.
So on the day of election, when we went to observe election in Anambra, canopy, they put canopy. Community people will come and sit down, and from the canopy they go and vote. Then you come back and take your vote by. Federal government was doing trader money. How many months to election? Trader money. Those are vote buying.
So how do you stop those votes?
Exactly. The way we can stop it is this your radio place that you go to. I don't know if you understand. You would think they are not listening. I don't know if you understand. If you have many voices, if you have many voices talking about it from an informed perspective, and I underline that, talking about it from an informed perspective will change things. Imagine that we were not talking at all. So just imagine that we were not. But let's talk about national election. We stopped her. Our collective voice said, no, you cannot do. This one that we know is your, what do you call it, your social media, your video on social media. You now want to make president national commissioner, you won't let that happen. It's true. There is no African country where civil society has the power they have in Nigeria. Not one. We are government to appoint somebody to say you are civil society, you can't do that. In anywhere in Africa, you can't. But Nigeria, if we collectively speak up, but let us not be closet partisans. Because they also know you. If they know you, when they are speaking, they want to ask the first. Who is speaking?
Yeah. It's from where?
Please. So finally, Isaiah, I'm creating the time for you to. I'm creating environment for you to do this so that you can.
That is actually what I call the death of patriotism.
Action Orientation Agency.
Where are they? I was there last week, and I spoke about that. What they are doing right now, I spoke about it. So, what we have that problem now. that people are no longer patriotic, they rather chase benefits. Right? And until we begin to reawaken that mentality of patriotism, leaving benefit aside, I don't think we're ever going to get it. Because I think the idea of chasing benefit is what always goes by. Right? Because let me just get what I will get now. No matter what we do later, go for Sandy. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So I think we really need to come on that very strongly. I don't know how you're going to do that.
What is the budget of national education agency?
I don't know.
So any day you want to fund a national education agency, it's not polio. They do polio. They are the ones talking about sickle cell, everything. They are the ones creating awareness. But their budget is safe. And that's why you see to me now, I'm helping you, you're a pastor. I'm telling you to go and find out so that you don't make a demand on somebody who does not have the capacity to do what you are asking. Patriotism is not legislated. You cannot legislate patriotism. Nobody can legislate patriotism. And there is nothing wrong in benefits. It's seeking for benefits. I don't know if you understand. You came here because you are going to benefit something. If there is no benefit, you will not come. If the benefits can be material, it can be immaterial. So that's not where the problem is. The problem is this dangerous thing about wanting to be better than the other person. The competition. That's all. So it's not about benefits. Okay? People who involve in vote by, I use my own mother to check. And she's not lacking anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not about lack. Eh?
She's a community member.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So the first thing is this character who brings this money. You know we are not going to talk to that character. No, we can't. No, sir. If you slap me here now, if you give me a slap here now, you know what everybody here will do? Rush me. No, they are not going to rush you. This is me. They are the ones that invited you, so they rush me. No, I said they will not rush you. You know what they will do? They will come to me and say, please come. Sorry. Please don't do anything. Please.
We know him, he has his club, small madness.
You know why they won't come to you? Know why listen to me, I'm drawing a lesson. You know why they won't come to you? Because you are powerful. To slap me, you are powerful. So it is always easier to talk to the weaker person. So the politician system, he understands it very well. The point I was trying to invite is an indictment of the institution. I believe. I don't want to indict him. Sorry. No. I don't want to make him. I don't want to make him uncomfortable. No, it's not just him. I know what I'm saying. I know, sir. The educational, the community, and the religious, they mold society. See, the people who went to Asaa schools and the ones who are stealing our money. The ones who went to St. Bas. All these things that the people who make the blame that you are body, they don't believe in God. So it's about law and order. It's much more than all this civilization and about religion. It's just that we are not law and order governed. We are governed by emotions, sentiments, sexual. So in countries in America, if me and you go to a pub, if me and you enter a pub, a drinking place together, you that is driving, you will not drink. Yes. I will be drinking. Even if you drink, you will not drink that day. Why? Because you are driving and there is somebody waiting. No, it's waiting. When immediately we drive out, you just say stop. You will run that thing on you.
So who is driving?
Yes, and you are not going to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You will just let your if you don't pay, nobody comes to meet you. You go to your house. In Lagos now, if you break traffic, nobody is chasing you.
The time you come to renew your license, they give you bill. And many times you will even have forgotten that you broke traffic. I mean Nigeria, Lagos. So in Lagos now, no matter what you do, everybody is waiting lights to go because there is a camera there. That camera is not the camera. It's not. Something is happening here. Yes, it's not a Catholic. That camera is not a Catholic. It's not a. It's not anybody. It catches you. It registers your number, registers your driver's license, and then simply wait for you. That is law and order regime. If we can impose a law and order regime, things will be true. So it's not religion. It's not all. Americans are not patriotic. They are not. British people are not patriotic. The reason is that if you offend, there is no sorry. You go to jail. If you don't go to jail, you pay the fine. That's the difference between us and them. It's about enforcement. It's nothing more. But if even all of us that are inside there, if good safety catch us here, the first thing we try to do is to call people. That's our first response, to see who we can call. And if we call the person, we say, my sister, I beg you that see us what they do. They say, if you are drinking, if you still have some drink inside the car, and police catch you, instead of stopping you, they will hit you and say, the drink you made.
Two questions. One, it's with those people that collected rubber, money, spaghetti to go out and vote, and those that refuse to go out. Between the traditional plus
records have it that people don't say go and take it to. There is no and you can't pay those people who came out. In 2015, if you were influence is not genetic. You can't say religious that you want. You can have a religious
that why somebody is not you understand? So he carried that spirit into that's my so by the time he was contesting the election, people beat their parents so you have influence on what they use that influence. They cannot use members of the church because they don't know him. Everything works. Emotions. In the south, everything like
Based on what you have heard